Yeah, we're looking good. I'm so much better at technology now than I used to be. All right, everybody. Hey, it's good to see y'all. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything. Ooh, it's the evening. Anybody on yet? Hello, hello, hello. Check one, check one. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet day on here. The whole idea of doing a later presentation is so that folks who are from further here in the United States are able to make it. So hopefully we'll start seeing some folks on here sooner than later. David, is just you and me, man. All right, well, Dave, since I got you here anyway, Hyper-V is a Type 1 hypervisor. It absolutely is. So I was wrong on that particular one, but it just acts so much like a Type 2 hypervisor. But, I mean, if you take a look at like KVM, or if you take a look at ESXi, or some of those types of virtual Type 1 hypervisors, I mean, they just don't have that, you know, manager on top of an operating system kind of look that all Type 2 hypervisors do. Only Hyper-V as a Type 1 hypervisor mimics that Type 2 hypervisor concept at all. So, what are you going to do? I went and bought a copy of VMware Workstation. It's installed. I started to putz with it a little bit. Wow, is it powerful. Hoi, yoy, is it powerful. I honestly don't know what I'm all going to be able to do with that thing as it comes on. But it is $200, so that is an issue. I mean, is VMware Workstation worth $200 from an instructional standpoint? If you're just trying to learn what VMs are, no, it's not going to be worth it. Does VMware Workstation create a level of flexibility for virtual machines that really puts it more in the Type 1 hypervisor world? And would I be comfortable using it as a honest to Pete, like heavy lifting hypervisor? Probably. Boy, did it have some interesting features. Anyway, we're going to be definitely doing, next Monday, we'll be doing VMware Workstation. So you guys want to stay tuned in for that. It's going to be very interesting. It was fun because I installed it and I only played with it for like about an hour, but I used to use VMware Workstation a lot. In fact, VMware Workstation was my first hypervisor. And we're going back more than 10 years ago. And so it was kind of an old Homes Week. It has definitely evolved substantially from where I remember VMware to be. And boy, is it a Swiss Army knife. And it just does so many cool things. Do I need all those? Probably not. Is it worth $200? Maybe not. But anyway, I don't want to give away too much more than that. It's definitely going to be an interesting place. We'll be back here next Monday, and we're going to be talking about using VMware Workstation. And so that'll be the second in our series of virtual machines. All right, so Heavy D, man. Haven't seen you in ages. How you doing, man? Good to see your name back up on lights. Catherine, good to see you. DQ. Jason Helms. Matt Ireland. Oh, there you go. So anyway, that should be a lot of fun in terms of what we'll be doing here. Also, guys, keep in mind that I'm going to be doing a show on TikTok. CyberNow Labs, National Cyber Group, my parent company, really wants me to be on TikTok. And, you know, we all talk about the paranoid things about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into an argument about that. But what I can say is that you can dramatically reduce telemetry on TikTok. And I'm just starting to get into the zeitgeist of what TikTok's all about. And it's kind of fascinating. I'm not going to lie. Am I telling you, everybody, it's perfectly safe? Everybody should jump on TikTok? Actually, yeah, with a couple of careful things that can be done, it's very interesting. One of the things that always worries me about being an older tech, and I have seen this for 30 years now, is that as techs get older, they reach a point where they kind of start flatlining their knowledge. And then one day there's an app or a configuration or something, and all of a sudden they're just like, today my jurisdiction ends here. And I'm not going to let myself do that. I've been very, very frustrated by Teams, Microsoft Teams, in terms of working with some of the engineering of how it works. But we're getting that. The other thing that's killing me is TikTok. Like, for example, if you guys, when you install TikTok, when you post stuff, it's the music. Now, the music could just be voice or just audio, but they call it music generically, and it can be a really big deal in terms of what's being hit or not. Boy, I do have another big surprise for you guys. Word is out that CompTIA has a new Security Plus. They're not at all official or anything yet, but this seems very premature to me that CompTIA is looking at doing a rewrite on Security Plus. Obviously, no dates are involved with this. I have no sense of what the scope of the changes are going to be, although I'm looking forward to seeing that when I can, if I can. But yeah, could be a new Security Plus right around the corner, man. And So Dave's asking me, will you conduct a show on the TikTok platform? No, Dave, I don't know enough about TikTok to do that. I want to do an AMA that talks about how you can use TikTok safely. It is an intriguing platform, guys. I'm not going to lie. It definitely it's a new, more interesting way to look at social media. And I've had some fun. So if you get a chance, and if you're feeling gutsy, again, it's not that big of a deal. On TikTok, look up CyberNow Labs. Whoa, hang on. I think I might be lying to you. No, look up National Cyber Group. And you'll see there's a bunch of videos on there. And it's actually kind of funny because you get to watch old Mike trying to work with this new kind of social media. I think you guys are going to laugh your rear ends off if you check it out. But we're getting there and we're having some fun. Yeah, so anyway, back to Security Plus. So all I've heard are rumors of leaks of, speculations. So I can't say in no way is this official. It's just, keep my ear to the grindstone, so yeah, new Security Plus. Whew, we'll see how that's going to go. Yeah, so could be excited. Anyway, I haven't even looked on the chat window here. Angelic Sanchez, good to see you. Yeah, so DQ, we're definitely going to be doing VMware. And I got to tell you, between Hyper-V, VMware Workstation, and VirtualBox, I doubt we're going to do anything else with Type 2 hypervisors, simply because I think that's sufficient. And if you can't make your decision within there, the only other one I'd be halfway interested in doing is Parallels, doing something on an Apple platform, but I don't have, at this point in time, easy access to a Mac. And so I'm just going to have to sneak past that one. And the thing is both with the, especially the CompTIA A Plus and Net Plus, they really are Windows-centric certifications. And, for 20 years, I've had people go, oh, Mike, I got a Mac, can I do this and that and the other on A Plus? I'm like, no, you really can't. Get a Windows system. So I'll probably just go ahead and let that slide. Brady McNulty. Hey, Brady. Ali, good to see you, my friend. All right, well, what else is going on? Healthy Mike is making another big dive here, kids. So I'm Yeah, healthy mind. I'm going to put out a cigarette. So I make another big push. I'm on my 3rd week of daily workouts. It's only 30 minutes, but I'm making myself sweat, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Finally got rid of the Nicorette again. All right, so no more nicotine. I don't vape or smoke anything, so the nicotine by itself isn't that bad for you. It's all the tar and stuff that you suck down with it. And so exercise, keeping the booze down. But the one thing I haven't done yet, and this is the next step I'm going to do, is get back on the diet, man. Drop back down to 1,500 calories a day. And then we'll see how we're doing. Jason, didn't Security Plus just come out last year? 2 years ago. But this does seem to be a premature, and again, guys, it's just a rumor of I don't have anything confirmed here. And there's even a chance that if I do get something confirmed, I'm not going to be able to make a public announcement. So at this point, who knows? You know, one of the things that bothered me about the last Security Plus is the last Security Plus update really took out a lot of things that I thought was important. Real business continuity, real risk management. A lot of these things that I think are really important conceptually if one wants to understand not just IT security, but any form of enterprise level security, and risk mitigation versus avoidance, all that kind of different stuff, which was taken out with the last Security Plus. And I would hope that CompTIA would be putting that stuff back in. I think it's important. Remember, because to me, Security Plus is really a survey of IT security and what all that means. And leaving that out, in my opinion, was not a smart idea. That's why 601 was launched November of 2020. Gosh. 1,500 calories a day, and I do great, Dave. I've done well before, but I've been out of shape for 6 years now, and I've been really out of shape for 3 years. Corona really did it to me, man. Hey, Maven. Techie Tommy. Yeah, that's true, Techie. Don't drink so much that you puke. Oh, yeah, no, we're pretty much past that. When was it? It was March of 1982. Ah, yes. Spring break, South Padre Island. Drove down to Mexico. Drank tequila. A lot of tequila. And we had rented this nice beach house. And I'm kind of watching the water. You think about southern Texas, it faces east, right? So we're looking at the sun as the sun's coming up, and here's some old dude jogging, he was probably 45, and he's jogging, hey, good morning, guys, how are y'all doing? I'm just like, bark. Yeah, so I generally make a rule that I never drink anything that I've ever blown out of my nose, so I stay away from tequila for the most part. Round is a shape, Jason. Round is a shape. Ollie, what are T1, E1 lines? Oh, goodness. Dave, are T1, I don't think they are even still on the Network Plus anymore. Ollie, I don't think that this is anything that's covered anymore, but I'll mention what it is. It's been a while since I've done this. In the 1970s, the United States telephone system went from a kind of a strange point-to-point, lots of big, huge cables, fully analog system, started moving into the idea of a digital system. This is way before networks existed, or at least networking existed, but this is where the first kind of level of packetized data and everything, it came from the telephone system. Now, granted, we didn't get digital telephone. In fact, we never really got digital telephones. It never really happened. There was something called ISDN. But anyway, the bottom line is Ma Bell, AT&T, had come up with the idea that 64K bit per second data transmission is just about perfect to transmit voice. And they came to this empirically. They just played with it and they decided that that's the right number. 8K pulses per second with an 8-bit resolution. It was 640K. Anyway, the beauty of having pulse data like this is that you could then create higher speed lines that could share chunks of this data. And oh, Dave, you're going to have to help me look up. I don't remember the T1. How many channels did a T1 line have? 70 something? How many channels in a T1 line? Let me Google that for you. I can't remember. It was 1.544 megabits per second on a T1 line. So however many, it was like 24 or 26 channels. Somebody take 1.554 and divide it by 640 and you'll get the answer. So the T1 line was the first generation of digital line used primarily for carrying voice. But if you have something digital, it's actually not that hard to convert it to data. So starting in the 80s, 90s, into the aughts a little bit, T1, fractional T1, which was a part of that 1.5 megabits per second, T3 lines became the primary high-speed connections. I mean, that was how most first-generation routers were connected via T1 lines. And they didn't have a phone number. You understand, it was a dedicated connection. And you would have... I can't even... this goes to show you, this is not even on CompTIA anymore, Ali. Yeah. God, I can't read. I've forgotten everything. What are you going to do? E1 and E3 were the European equivalents. And they went higher than that. I mean... it would be like T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. But this is all pretty much dead. I actually did look this up. 24 times, Dave Rush comes to the rescue. 24 56K channels. So it's 56K of data, that each channel has another 8 for overhead kind of stuff. But anyway, that's the answer. So there you go. Ali, please don't worry about that stuff anymore. It's not on the Network Plus anymore. If you're reading that kind of stuff, I know you're not reading one of my recent books, that's for sure. Do you recommend that people take SSCP over Security Plus now? No. The reality is Security Plus has a real grounding now in terms of its popularity as a launch point for lots of programs. I mean, even our National Cyber Group boot camp, or unboot camp as we call it, we actually take the first 8 weeks just to get you through Security Plus, because it's just that well recognized. SSCP is fine. I got no problems with it, but a big reason I go for a certification is because it's popular. Hey, Tolo, good to see you. Okay, and then the T3 had 28 T1 lines. But yeah, so that was that old kind of stuff. Again, Ali, don't sweat it. All right, well, listen, guys. Do throw me out some questions. We always start here at 7 o'clock, but I need people to ask me some questions to keep me up and running. Otherwise, it's 7:20, which isn't quite like 4:20, but I'm going to have to get back to my World of Warcraft character. And so Dave's posted in, do remember our Discord server, always a good thing to join in if you can. Also keep in mind that we have our 50% discounts. I'm sorry, Dave Rush is distracting me. Don't forget that we have our great discount offers for anybody who comes on. You guys know that we give you 50% off a combination ebook and practice questions. And Dave Rush has given you all the ways to do that. It's right there. Yeah, and of course, thank you, Dave. Do remember to get on my LinkedIn and come say hi. Everybody should be on LinkedIn. I think it's really important. Brady McNutty. Any recommendations for skilling up forensics? This is the old NCASE courses. Brady, if you're in college, what you should probably do is call up your local FBI National Computer Forensics, Regional Computer Forensics Laboratory, RCFL. The RCFLs are always hiring interns. You have to be in a college going for a bachelor's degree, but you should definitely check it out. The Bureau is a great source, and boy, you want to talk about, I mean, it's Regional Computer Forensics Laboratory, so as you can imagine, you're going to be working. NCASE is one of the tools, and what's the other super popular one I used to remember? But in terms of actual study guides, I don't have any recommendations. McNutty, because it looks like McNutty. I got to change my prescription. I'm just lazy. DQ, hello, Mike. Can you talk about WSL to Ubuntu? What are your thoughts on Windows subsystem for Linux? I like it. I mean, you got to understand why that happened, right? When the Macs started coming back on with the terminal 10 plus years ago, what we discovered is that there were a lot of developers who fell in love with the Mac platform, Mac OS platform, as a way for development and being able to use, container tools and all that type of stuff. Mac really kind of owns the developers market now. So you got to keep in mind that there's been precursors to the Windows subsystem for Linux that have been around for a while, but they always stunk. And what Microsoft eventually had to learn to do was appreciate that it's going to have to make a product that's going to work as comfortably as Macs do for developers. And that's where that really came from. And there's still some nuances to it. Got to keep in mind, like in the Mac world, their terminal is native to whatever their storage systems are. But that's not true with Windows Subsystem for Linux. Even to this day, there's issues involved with getting, for example, Ubuntu to comfortably, reliably journaling read NTFS. It's better than it used to be. I'm not going to say it used to be impossible. Precursors to WSL, you literally were required to take part of your hard drive and partition it as like ext2 or ext3 or something. So, yeah, you weren't missing a thing. The other challenge is that, so with Windows Subsystem for Linux, is it forced Microsoft to bail out on PowerShell as a more universal development platform. So when you walk up to a Windows system, you kind of got these two heads things. If you want to be developing for Windows environments and stuff like that, you're probably just going to go to PowerShell, okay? But if you're going to be developing like web pages, app dev kind of stuff, you're going to go to WSL. There is no choice. And that can drive some people a little bit batty. You can do everything you want to do in PowerShell. You really can. But some of the things that PowerShell does from a developmental standpoint gets a little weird. Try to get GitHub to work with PowerShell. It'll work. It works. I mean, it works. But it's it gets a little funky. Whereas with WSL, it would work because it's basically native and just like it does on a Mac. So I like it. Yeah, Brady, I'm going to start calling you McNutty. McNulty. All right, we got it. Mike, what's your thoughts on Windows 11? And what OS do you enjoy using the most? Remember a minute ago when I was saying that one of the signs of a tech getting old is when they start flatlining on their applications? I haven't installed, I do not have a working Windows 11 anywhere. Not one. The fact that I am compelled, not compelled, then I am compelled, or I'm not compelled, or whatever, they're compelled to create a Microsoft account just to log in. It makes me mad. Why did Microsoft change from being a great operating system to be a data farmer? And I am resisting it very much. I'm keeping Windows 10 running almost everywhere. Not because I'm particularly in love with Windows 10, but because I can control the telemetry better. I'm not against, I have Ubuntu running, but I don't use Ubuntu desktop. Most of the time, if I'm running Linux, it's for something dedicated. You know, router software, Pi-hole, home theater, things like that. So yeah, I'm not super happy with my world of operating systems right now. I'm an old Windows guy, man. I've been doing Windows since, you know, the late 80s. Back then it was DOS, so I'm a little bit stuck in my ways, I'll admit that. But, you know, a third of a century with a particular operating system, you know, it's kind of hard. I would be, as a newer tech, accepting the fact that Windows 11 is going to be out there, working with it within an enterprise environment, because there's a lot of ways you can turn that stuff off in enterprise, and then continuing to look at Linux as a viable alternative. It just ain't quite ready for my desktop. Amanda Algiers. Hi, Mike. What are your thoughts on VLAN options in an enterprise environment? Pros, cons? Well, VLANs, we need VLANs in enterprise environments. VLANs work at so many different levels. I mean, I've seen in like zero trust environments where, you know, layer 2 separation of individual hosts can happen. VLANs if you have wireless networks, VLANs are pretty much required, in my opinion. Are you talking about particular strategies for VLANs? I wouldn't be able to answer that one for you. But VLANs, it's not a matter do you use them or not. In an enterprise environment, to use VLANs. Heck, I use VLANs in my house here. I've got 3, 4 VLANs running for different things. DQ, I use it for bug bounty and CTF labs. Yeah, no, DQ would work great for stuff. We're still talking WSL2, right? All right. I find that you can do most of the same tasks as you can in PowerShell. I agree, but PowerShell sure makes it a lot easier as a development process, in particular when you're trying to use certain variable functions, system calls that come up through PowerShell's help. Popping shell with Metasploit. Run Metasploit off of a thumb drive, man. Maven agrees with me on Windows. Ali, I think we're having a new friend from Algeria. Ah, welcome aboard, man. Is that Amanda Algiers? Is that why you're saying that, Ali? Yeah, no, I know that there are ways to install regular local accounts on Windows 11. And like you're saying, you did it with your Ethernet disconnected. Other times, there's been 3 or 4 patches and workarounds in the last year and a half or so. So I just kind of hope where it's going to go. EMH, Mike, I am struggling to understand subnetting above the 24 range. Ooh, EMH, Dave, help EMH out. About a year and a half ago, right here on the Total Seminars channel, we did a series of days of subnetting. And you need to watch them. They're really, really good. And EMH, what I'd like you to do is, all you got to do is search within the Total Seminars channel. YouTube allows you to do that. Just type in subnetting. And it was like 2, Dave, or was it 3 in a row? I forget how many. Hey, Con. And please watch those episodes. I think you'll find it very interesting. So not only do we go through the process, but more importantly, I reinforce it over and over again with the type of subnetting questions you're going to actually run into on Network Plus in particular. A Plus has a couple too, but they're pretty straightforward. But please watch those first, EMH. And once you've watched those, if you still have questions, you got 2 choices. Number 1, you're always welcome to get on the Discord channel. That's one great thing to do. Secondly, you can contact me if you'd like. I'm Michael M. at TotalSem.com. Go ahead and send me an email and ask me some questions that way. And you can also ask questions here. The only downside to asking questions here is that I can't really do a two-way conversation with you just by texting. But we have great texts on the Discord channel. Be glad to help you. And please check those out. But here, EMH, I'm going to ask you one question first. Why do we subnet? That's the first question. Oh, there you go. EMH, Dave Rush has got the links there for you. Please watch those. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you will find those very... Oh, that's right. They took subnetting out of the A+. I forgot that. They did. And I think they should. Subnetting's a rare thing. You know, it's not a super common thing. Okay, guys. Looks like we're running out of questions today. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and... I get to play with VMware a little bit more tonight. It's only 7:30 local time. And I'm going to be good. I should like get on a scale at the beginning of everyone. I'm like 278. I'm a fatty, guys. But I'm going to knock it out this time. I think it's time. You know. Sorry, I'm reading what EMH said. No, it's all cool, man. All good. All right, well, listen, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Remember, this Monday, we're going to be coming back with, we'll have a nice VMware workstation demo for you guys to check out. And until then, this is your little Uncle Mikey saying bye-bye. Bye, guys. I'll talk to y'all again soon.